it's Kayla and it is Readathon season. This year, both the Biannual Bibliothon and BookTubeAthon are going to be almost the exact same week. I am filming this July 20th, and almost exactly both the Readathons are going to be happening at the same time. The Biannual Bibliothon, I believe, starts one day before BookTubeAthon, so it is going to be from the 23rd to the 29th, and then BookTubeAthon is going to be from the 24th to the 30th. I hope I got that right. But this year, I am going to be participating in both. This might sound very ambitious to some people, but I know a lot of others are going to be doing the same thing. I've been seeing it on Twitter. I've been watching other people's TBR videos. I just got to my video right now because I was waiting for some books to come in the mail, but they are all here now, and I'm gonna go all through them. Again, if you don't know what the Biannual Bibliothon or BookTubeAthon is, basically they're just readathons that happen where you try to complete as many books as you can in the span of a week. There are reading challenges for each individual readathon, but I have combined a lot of them to make the TBR I have here. I have 8 books to show you. I have made lists and color codings, and I have it right here, so let's get into it. So the way I've organized this list is I'm going to go through the BookTubeAthon's reading challenges first, and then I will go through a separate list of all the Biannual Bibliothon reading challenges. Some of the same books are going to be presented for both lists, so bear with me. I know this is going to be a little repetitive, but you'll see. Also, an exciting note, this will be my 3rd BookTubeAthon participating in, which I'm very excited for, and my 2nd Biannual Bibliothon. The first one that I participated in was last winter, and now I'm going to be doing the summer bib. Bib? Yes. Bib-de-bib-de-bib-de-boo. On to the TBR. The first challenge for BookTubeAthon is read a book with a person on the cover, and the second one is to read a hyped book. I decided to combine these 2 challenges with the book One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus. This has been a book that's been swarming around the BookTube community. Everybody is really hyped about this book. I have not read it yet. I'm very excited to. I recently bought this a couple weeks ago, and as you can see, technically there are people on the cover even though there is paper covering their faces. But this premise just sounds so good. It sounds like such a good murder mystery with also Breakfast Club vibes. Basically, it's about these 5 kids that are in detention on a Monday morning, and when they get out of detention, one of them is dead, and the other 4 are suspects, and they're all complete opposite kids. They aren't friends, they've never met each other, well, they've met each other, but they don't interact. It's just to see what happens and where this goes, and I'm excited. The next challenge is to read a book in one day, which I am not that great at, so of course I'm going to be picking a comic book for this question, and the answer I'm going to be using is Rat Queens Volume 3. I love the Rat Queens series. It is so good. It takes place in like a medieval fantasy type situation, but also has a lot of like social commentary on today's society, and it's just hilarious, but also just the premise and the underlying plot is also very intriguing, and I'm very excited to see where this goes for the 3rd volume. The next challenge is read a book with a character that is very different from you, and I really liked this one because, you know, you tend to gravitate towards characters that are very similar to yourself. I know I do. I've read a lot in the past that I really connect with, and just based off the premise, I would know that I'd be like very similar to those characters. So I like that Ariel's like pushing us outside our comfort zone, and so for this challenge I'm going to be reading They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. I'm very, very excited for this book. I love Adam, I love his writing. I was lucky enough to get a copy of They Both Die at the End at BookCon, and this main character is very different from myself. There are 2 main characters actually, Mateo and Rufus. They are both gay, they're both boys. I'm not gay, I'm not a boy, so it just seems like the perfect fit to read. This premise just sounds really cool. So I've mentioned it a little bit before in previous videos, but They Both Die at the End is about this futuristic world where there's this technology that has been created where you can be notified when you're going to die. So the day of your death day, you get a notification, and then there is this app that you can use to get in contact with other people who are dying on the same day as you. So if you need a friend to spend your last day with, then they're there. And that is how Mateo and Rufus meet, and it goes from there. And I know it's going to be very sad because the title says it all. There aren't any spoilers, you know what you're going into, but I'm excited to read it anyway. Next challenge is a very challenging one, and that is to read a book outdoors. I don't do outside, I don't do nature That's not me. I read in my bed and on my couch all day. I don't. Why are you doing this to me, Ariel? Everybody is having such trouble with this challenge, and I think it is hilarious, especially for readers. Like, we know we like to be introverted people and stay inside with a cup of tea and nice comfy couch, not outside in the nature and dirt and stuff. I don't like it, but I'm going to try. But I'm still going to cheat anyway. And so I'm going to be reading Paper Girls, Volume 1 by Brian K. Vaughan. This is a very easy one, of course, because it is a comic book. It takes like an hour or two to read, so I don't have to spend that much time outside. No, I'm kidding. Like, I go outside. I'm not like a hermit or anything, but you know what I mean. Outside nature, not my friend, but I'll be reading this. I'm excited. I really don't know anything about this, and that's what kind of makes me excited about it going into it. I have read Saga, of course, so that's just what gravitated me towards this, if that made sense. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna be reading this for that challenge. Next challenge is read a book that you bought because of the cover, and I'm kind of cheating with this one too because I didn't really buy it because of the cover. I bought it because it is the group book for BookTubeAthon. This is a new feature on BookTubeAthon I'm very excited about. Biannual Bibliothon has a very similar situation, but this year Ariel has picked a book for all the readers to read if they want to, and then talk about it along the way. And that book is Juniper Lemon's Happiness Index by Julie Israel. I'm so excited to read this book because it's so pretty. I did buy it because it's the group book, and I also bought it because this cover is gorgeous. But what's funny is the paperback is different than the hardcover, and I had to make sure I got the right cover for this because this is a very pretty one. The other one was very different. I think it had to do with, it had a person on the cover with, I think either it was balloons or confetti, I don't remember, but this one is just the colors and the text, like the font is so nice to look at. And what I remember about the synopsis, it's about this girl, Juniper, whose sister had just died, and she's trying to cope with that. And she creates a list called her happiness index, but then she loses it, and then she kind of spirals out of control and tries to find it and goes from there. That's all I really know about it, but it sounds interesting, sounds like a good, quick contemporary to get through, so I'm excited. And the last challenge is to read 7 books, and since I have 2 books left over I could read, I decided to choose Murder on the Orient Express by Agatha Christie and The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. I am a big Agatha Christie fan. That's one of the reasons why I really wanted to read this book, but also the movie is coming out for Murder on the Orient Express, and the trailer looks amazing. It looks really cool, and there's an all-star cast, and I just really want to watch it, but I know I have to read this first, and I'm excited to anyway, because like I said, I've read a couple Agatha Christie books now, and I just think she's great. She's a great murder mystery writer, so I'm excited to read this. And then Perks of Being a Wallflower is going to be a reread for me. It's also one of the books that is on my Biannual Bibliothon list, which you will find out right now. But yeah, this is also a very short book, and I'm excited to read it again because I haven't read it since I read it for the first time back like my freshman year of high school, so it's been a while. Moving on to the Biannual Bibliothon reading challenges. As I mentioned earlier, this is a group book that always is chosen by the hosts every Bibliothon, and this year the book that has been chosen is Flame in the Mist by Renee Ahdieh, and I'm excited to read this because it's another book that I wouldn't normally pick up. Not because it doesn't sound interesting to me, it's just I have other books that are my top priority at the moment. I know it's like harsh to say, but I would have bought this book eventually, but this really pushed me to get it sooner than I would have. And this, what I know about it so far is that Flame in the Mist is a Mulan retelling of sorts, and I don't really know anything other than that, and that's kind of what intrigues me, like not going into a book not knowing what it's about, because I don't do that often, so when I do, I'm really interested to find out what's going on. The rest of the challenges are books that I had already mentioned earlier, but I'm just gonna say which books go for which challenges now, so let's get to it. So the book for the next couple challenges I had is They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera, and this completes the challenge of read a LGBT plus book, as well as reading a favorite genre of one of the hosts. Does that make sense? But anyway, I chose Emma, and she loves diverse books, and this is diverse because it has gay characters in it, and I'm pretty sure that they are somewhere on the color spectrum as well, so yeah. The other book that I just showed is Perks of Being a Wallflower, and I'm going to be using this to read a banned book and read a book-to-movie adaptation. So again, I love this book and I love the movie, so I can't wait to read this and watch the movie again. And I loved the concept of reading a banned book because they're just the best ones. I don't know why they're banned, honestly. And the final book I have to show you for the last couple challenges is Rat Queens, again, Volume 3, and this will complete the challenge of read a book that you discovered outside of BookTube, and also the Throwback Challenge. And for the Throwback Challenge, I chose read a graphic novel because it's just the easiest of them all. I believe I discovered Rat Queens through my Goodreads. I can't be sure, but I know it wasn't through BookTube. I just remember finding it and thinking that it looked interesting because I was really on a graphic novel, comic book high, so I really wanted to read the series. The first volume, this is the third one. So I found the first volume and then it led me to the third volume. But yeah, Rat Queens is the last book for these challenges. So that was pretty easy. That's all I have with my 8 books for the challenges, considering that I'm going to be doing 8 days of reading. So I don't know if I'm going to be getting to all of these, but I'm excited to see where this goes. Just a little side note, I am going to be participating in the BookTubeAthon video challenges this year, but not the Biannual Bibliothon video challenges. I know I could have done those videos ahead of time, but I've just been really busy with a lot of stuff going on, and I didn't want to put so much pressure on myself, especially in the summertime where like it's supposed to be fun and free time and stuff. But anyway, and I love making videos, but you get where I'm going. So that is all I have for you today. I'm very excited to see you all next week when I film my updates for the readathons, which I do every year. And yeah, it's gonna be a good one. Can't wait to see everybody else's TBRs, and I hope you all will have a happy reading time this Bibliothon and BookTubeAthon. So I will see you sooner rather than later with a new video. Bye!